Hi, folks. Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And today we're going to be talking about Mrs. Peyton, the new teacher that has replaced Mrs. Krabappel on The Simpsons. So, if you guys have been watching The Simpsons, you had to basically watch the episode that literally came out yesterday. I'm actually recording this on Monday, the 25th, right here. You can see here. This episode, My Octopus and a Teacher, came out yesterday on April 24th. So today is Monday when I'm recording this. I think this video is coming out tomorrow on Tuesday. So you had to watch the episode yesterday to, just in case spoilers. I don't want to spoil this for you guys, but yes, The Simpsons introduced a brand new teacher. She's a permanent addition to the Simpsons cast, and I'm going to be doing a discussion. Not too long. It's not too long. But we're going to be talking about it here. So again, spoilers. If you're a watcher of The Simpsons and you don't want to be, spoiled by this episode, please go watch it and come right back, and we'll talk about it here. So this is the new character. Her name is Mrs. Peyton. She replaced. You guys remember Mrs. Krabappel? Obviously, she's a longtime Simpsons character. And I wanted to give my raw thoughts after directly seeing the episode. Also, I want to give shout out to Kevin McAllister, one of my subscribers, because I actually forgot to record this. And he's like, Sandro, you should talk about that new Simpsons teacher. And I'm like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. I was going to do a video on that anyway. So now, thank God I remembered. Thank you, Kevin, so much. But let's get into it here. So yeah, Mrs. Peyton. What are my thoughts? I just thought she was okay. Like nothing special. Like literally. like nothing. Like this is one of the most generic Simpsons characters I've ever seen. I guess I'll talk about the episode. So the episode starts with Lisa. She's doing like a wildlife documentary for some strange reason, and she meets an octopus in the wild. She befriends it and she takes it home with her, and she kind of keeps it as a pet. And then as the episode goes on, she realizes that she can't keep it and she has to release it back into the wild. It's a real shame because in this episode, Mrs. Peyton, as you can see her right here, she is a permanent addition to The Simpsons, like going forward. And I thought it would be really cool if they actually just gave Lisa a pet octopus going forward for all future episodes. I can't remember the name. She gives it a name. What was it, like Lily or something? I can't remember. She only says it like once or twice in the episode, but the octopus had a name. I was like, come on, they gotta. If you're gonna do an episode where the teacher becomes permanent, why not double down and make the octopus a permanent part of the Simpsons household? But they just didn't do it. I was a little bit sad about that. So we don't get an octopus pet for Lisa. I think the octopus pet could have made a very good character. Going forward for Lisa. I gotta be honest, guys, I never really liked Lisa. She's like, out of the entire family, if I had to rank them, like she's at the very bottom. I'd put her under the dog, man. As Santa's little helper, I put Lisa under the freaking dog, man. I even Maggie. I like Maggie better than Lisa. Lisa is just, God. She's had some really bad episodes, let's just say. But, let's get back on track to the teacher here now that we're finished talking about Lisa. So they do something here that I don't like. They basically did a setup here that Bart had apparently met her previously during the summer. This is something I didn't like. I would have rather it was just a fresh, brand new slate. They also went with the route. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So everybody remembers that Mrs. Krabappel and Bart had this very love-hate relationship, right? So it's like Mrs. Krabappel was just, they were at each other's neck, but at the end of the day, she was still Bart's teacher, and she still treated him like a student that she respected. And they had a bit of like I said, a love-hate friendship there, even outside of the classroom sometimes. This character, so they basically thought to themselves, okay, so the previous teacher had, and by the way, they had a bunch of like substitutes over the last couple of years. They had all kinds of wacky substitute teachers that were coming in and filling in and whatever. So that's going to be the end of that. I can't remember any of the substitute. Didn't Ned Flanders fill in for a little bit? Yeah. So the substitute gimmick is gone for now, hopefully. And so she is cemented in, just to, It was a good choice, right? It was a good choice to do this, I think, to bring in a new teacher. But this character really, like, she doesn't bring anything new to the thing, right? So Bart has a crush on her. Like I said, Mrs. Krabappel and Bart, they had this sort of like friendship outside of the classroom. So the writers were like, okay, the new teacher, this is going to be the permanent teacher, she needs to have some kind of relationship with Bart, or like they have to have some kind of like drama or something together, you know? So they decided to go this weird route, like I said, or I was saying earlier, where Bart basically, during the summer, he had met her. He had met this teacher previously. So as soon as she's introduced as the new teacher, he's acting all weird, and we don't know why for a little bit. And then it's later revealed that the reason he was acting weird around her is because he was drowning. He decided, you know, there was a scene where he's on a beach, he sneaks into a resort, and he goes off the diving board, and after he had eaten a big meal or whatever, and he's drowning, and she saves his life. And then he does an awkward thing where, like, I'm a great swimmer, I didn't need to be saved, and he felt embarrassed about the way he treated her. So that was sort of again, I don't like that. And then as the episodes progressed, I guess because she saved her life, we have a bit of a Romeo and Juliet situation here where I think we learned about this in humanities class. Yeah, I went to college. I never finished, but when I was in college, we talked about humanities. It was like a whole course. You learn about like what was it? The Sigmund Freud and the ego and the id and the super id and all that crap. And I remember our teacher telling us about how there's this kind of like Romeo, or is that what it was? Romeo and Juliet thing, where when somebody saves somebody's life, I should say, when somebody saves someone else's life, why do I keep saying live? This is not a video game. No, whenever someone keeps saving someone else's life, there's a chance that maybe they become romantically attracted. Like somebody feels affection for caring, you know, like a woman, if a man gets injured and the woman, you know, like a nurse, you see this in a lot of old school movies, a nurse would like tend to a man, and then the man would like fall in love because she was tending. Didn't that happen on like Daredevil or something? Something like that, right? So yeah, we've seen this before where like certain characters, like they tend to the wounds, they heal someone up, and there's kind of a romance. Here we have a backwards kind of romance where Bart's life was saved by the teacher, so he kind of like, it could be that the writers were trying to convey that because of that event, Bart falls in love with her or has a crush on her. We also get a reveal that like Homer had a crush on his nurse as a kid. It's a shame we didn't get a flashback of that. I think that would have been cool to get a flashback of. But yeah, this character is just very mediocre. Like nothing of interest happens with her in her debut episode. She's just a very run-of-the-mill Simpsons character, just like nothing special. Her personality seems to be very upbeat. Like she's a very like eccentric type of character, but nothing special really. The most interesting thing that I thought that they were going to take it, we see this scene where Bart, he's near the water fountain and he sees her kissing someone, and they mention in the beginning of the episode when Seymour and whatever the other, oh my God, can't remember the guy's name, Principal Skinner and Principal Skinner and the other guy, I can't remember his name, whatever, the steamed hams guy, you know who I'm talking about. Why can't I remember his name? It just came to me and I lost it. Whatever. You guys know. So they were hiring this teacher. She mentions that basically her husband is away because her husband tends to like go away for a while because he's bad at music or something along those lines. So I thought, okay, they're showing a shadow of her kissing someone. Are they setting this up to be like the teacher is some kind of like skank or something? What do you call, like a floozy? What kind of word are we looking for here? She's sleeping around. She's the town bus. I thought that's the direction they were going. I thought they were going for that for sure. Kind of like Nelson's mom, right? She's just kind of like, basically a prostitute. Yeah, I thought that's the direction they were going with, and there was going to be some kind of scandal. Right now in real life, we're seeing a lot of these weird scandals where the teachers are like, just having relations with underage children, grooming. Disney, a company that's notoriously known for grooming, but they weren't gonna, tackle that kind of subject matter here. And it turns out, no, the person she was kissing was her husband. I don't understand why they just didn't like open the door for that scene, because like I said, as soon as I saw that scene, I'm like, oh, this could be interesting. She's cheating on her husband, and Bart has like blackmail on her. I was like, okay, could this be a thing here? And no, they don't. The Simpsons, man, they just don't want to go. They don't want to touch. They don't want to turn any stones over. You know what I mean? Just a very basic episode. Instead of like making that into something, they just it's just all the same plot. It's just the plot. Nothing happens with that scene. Nothing happens. It turns out it was her husband, and he appears later in the episode. Nothing comes of that scene, or maybe I just interpreted it wrong. I don't know, but very interesting. So they decided not to do anything with that scene, and it was just run of the mill. Bart ends up confessing his feelings to her. Bygones are bygones. They had a great scene. This episode had a great ending, but I didn't really think it was a great episode. Like I would give this just like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Nothing special, but the ending, of course, has the blackboard. She's like, I can't remember what they say at the end, but he's like, "What should I do to atone for my punishment?" And the teacher's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, my old teacher had a way of punishing me." And then you see him writing on the chalkboard, like, "I will not, confess my feelings," or whatever he wrote on there. That was a great ending, but like, man, what a boring character. She doesn't really bring anything new to the table. I'm interested to see like what could they possibly do with her? Like, I don't know. But she wasn't funny, and that's another thing. She just wasn't a very funny character, honestly. I don't think, honest to God, I never laughed a single time this entire episode. Didn't find a single thing funny. The best scenes were just with weirdly enough, Lisa with the octopus was actually more entertaining than the entire new teacher plot. But yeah, so this is Bart's new teacher. This is the actor. It's interesting that the character like looks so much like the new character here, Mrs. What was her, Peyton, right? Peyton, yeah, Peyton. Here she is looking for her work on Twitter, and I guess that's how they found her. Yeah, that just got into my head. I began thinking maybe she could be the new teacher. So that's kind of interesting there. But like, those laughs will come in different ways than before. What laughs? I didn't find this to be a very funny character at all. She's just a basic teacher. Honestly, it's modern day Simpsons. I was not expecting anything good here. Like what was I expecting? We're on season 33. Actually expecting a new exciting teacher. I think I had my expectations too high. She does nothing of noteworthiness. She's just a new teacher. Miss Krabappel was way better. I got to be real. She's the OG teacher. She just did it better. I honestly didn't mind like Ned being a teacher for a while. I think they were trying that after Mrs. Krabappel passed away for a little while. They tried Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders doesn't do too much outside of being like a funny religious neighbor. But I did think that was kind of cool that they like tried to put him in there and tried to do something with Ned outside of like the whole neighbor gimmick. But, in the end of the day, they needed a teacher. She fills the role. Does she fill it well? I guess we got to see more episodes with her, because this was just like a very introduction basic episode. Maybe they will do something. So again, this is staple to her lore now, that her husband seems to be locked into Springfield. Like, they can't move away. This seems to be part of her like story. She doesn't seem to like her husband very much. She is kissing him in the scene, but she doesn't really. Later in the episode, she mentions that she's like, "Oh, I have to put up with the music every day." Will we eventually see some kind of divorce here? An episode of divorce? Will we see something else where maybe she does become that kind of character where Bart sees her cheating, and for the rest of the season, that would be crazy, just to have like Bart having like years of blackmail on his teacher, just running the school as his own, like, no, that'd be too crazy. They would never go for that kind of plot. But I think that would be wild if it just remained that way, where Bart just had blackmail on his own teacher. That would be crazy. We're never going to see that though, but these were my thoughts. I think pretty raw, pretty quick video here, just to give you guys my ideas. And did you guys like her? Did you guys like Mrs. Peyton? Again, I just thought she was just okay. She wasn't good. She wasn't like the absolute worst. Just somewhere in the middle. Just a very generic character. And I do want to see your guys' thoughts. Oh, by the way, what was the name of the Kerry Washington? There you go. That's the person who voices her, and she is permanent. So look forward to more episodes with her, for better or worse. And that's going to be that, folks. So again, let me know your thoughts. Was Mrs. Peyton any good? Do you want to see more episodes with her? Do you like my idea of the whole, like, maybe Bart could get blackmailed? Like, do you think that in the future she's going to cheat on her husband? Where are we taking this character? Do we even care? We're on season 33. Do we give a shit at this point about anything that happens in this show? And by the way, do you want Lisa's pet octopus to be permanent? I sure did. I like the octopus. I really like that octopus. That's a shame they didn't keep that as a main character. Anyways, I'm sure it'll come. You know what? That octopus will come back eventually. I believe it. But anyways, that's going to be it from me. Please please share the video, subscribe, and if you guys could watch an ad, it'd really make my day. So without further ado, that's going to be it from me. Peace out, everybody. Have yourselves a great day.